Welcome in, Scorpio Collective. It's Laura, and we are going to get a reading for this powerful Virgo Full Moon Eclipse. This is going to be for any major Scorpio placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Keep in mind, this eclipse is a South Node eclipse, so it is kind of bringing in a major karmic release in a certain area of your birth chart. It can mean deep healing. It can mean a necessary ending. We got to remember, Scorpio, eclipses are faded. And so whatever is falling away right now is kind of making space for something greater. We got to also remember that this eclipse, I feel, is aligning to the energy of the Fool card. And so where are you being called to take a leap of faith? But maybe you've got to release something or surrender something, or possibly heal something before you can kind of step into this new beginning that lies ahead. So, Scorpio, trust that whatever is leaving your life right now is kind of meant to go so you can move forward. So let's dive into the oracle message and let's see what this eclipse is activating for you. We've got this attachment card. Look at this card. She's taken off her mask. It's a 5 card. And so I also feel there's this underlying energy of traditional beliefs here being upheaved. What is it that you value? She's kind of chained to something here too, chained to an old mindset. There's a need to release any type of attachment, I feel, to the physical world. There's change on the horizon without a doubt is really what this is saying to me, Scorpio. There's this energy, I feel, of a negative old pattern. And where do you need to release attachment so you can finally choose peace, to be free? And so maybe there is a perceived need here, and there is a choice to let something go. You don't have to stay chained to something here that isn't working for you. And so what I feel is you are being called through some type of passage. I want to use the word passage, like a passage forward. And you gotta stop being tied down or chained down to some type of strong attachment to an old pattern or even a person from the past. I kind of feel, it feels like you're bolted to this energy of fear. Maybe there's a past situation here that is bringing forward this energy. I want to say desperation. And you see, it's almost like you're wearing a mask, and the mask is just a pretense. Even if it's a mask of saying, hey, I'm content, I'm good, I'm all good. But there's this energy where it seems like you can't move forward because you're chained to something here. You're kind of bolted to something here. And so what is the stuff that keeps happening that keeps you stuck in these old, maybe physical addictions? There could be emotional patterns here. There could even be an old relationship here that keeps you stuck in a cycle of fear, or even just addicted to the old. There could just be a simple unhealthy habit here. But it almost is like you're so desperate to step into the future that you don't know how to be happy right now in the present moment. And so what is binding you? What is binding you? This eclipse is asking you to take action, to break out of the chains, to break out of the cage, and to move forward with an open, free heart. And so how can you move forward authentically towards a happy life? How can you do that? Because until you do that, you're going to be in this difficult energy of the past repeating itself over and over again, keeping you stuck. And so you have an opportunity here to walk through the doorway of a new experience. But what are you going to choose? Because I do think it requires action. I almost feel like a Queen of Wands quality. And so you get to decide what's next. The Queen of Wands is a magnet for good things. But I think you got to choose to walk through a new doorway, a new experience here. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say for you. What does Spirit want you to know at this time connected to this attachment? What is this eclipse activating for you? We get the 4 of Cups in reversed. So that's releasing an old attachment. This is releasing some type of energy of soul suppression. We get the King of Pentacles in reversed. He's made a couple of appearances lately. And we get the Hermit. So this is a deep process of re-identification of self. And so where do you need to release attachment to material things? The King of Pentacles in reverse can be very materialistic, can be so focused on money and the stuff that they have to bring forward some type of contentment. There is also this very ungrounded energy, I feel. So it doesn't matter how much stuff we have, how much money we have. If we've got a void in our heart, we can never fill that with material things, right? And so Maybe it's time to let your guard down. Maybe it's time to let the mask fall. If you've been protecting yourself with the mask of contentment when deep down inside you're hurting, it's time to break down those walls. So what's below the Seven of Wands? Yeah, it's time to open up your heart, Scorpio. The Seven of Wands in reverse to the King of Cups in reversed to the Seven of Cups in reversed. I do think this is a long standing cycle, probably all the way back from childhood. So I think there could be a revelation about a childhood wound here that needs to come to light. And so this eclipse, I think, is asking you to dive deep, to really dive deep, because there's almost like a block for creativity. There's a block for happiness because it's trying to come in. It's definitely trying to come in. So let's break down these energies. What I almost feel like this energy of like a shift in perspective. Maybe you're coming out of a state of apathy or stagnation. Maybe you're finally seeing an opportunity that was previously ignored or missed. Maybe you are struggling with finances. I do feel there could be instability with finances, but I also feel somebody here that is too controlling, that uses money or material things as a mask or a guise to hide how emotionally discontent this person is, that how emotionally discontent you are. This is your reading, and the King of Cups in reverse is your energy, Scorpio, whether you are a feminine or a man. So I don't know if I'm talking to a Scorpio North Node and maybe the South Node is the energy of Taurus. That's quite possible. It doesn't have to be. Maybe you're a Virgo North Node. We got the Virgo energy. You could be dealing with an Earth sign. You could be dealing with a Virgo. But I kind of feel this is a struggling energy where you are being called under the full moon to go into deep introspection. This is a time period of soul searching over the next few weeks. You're going to need that solitude to gain wisdom. The King of Pentacles in reverse can be so attached to the people around them that they are afraid to spend time within and go within. We see the wolf on the card. This is like a lone wolf energy, right? And so I kind of feel there's a wake-up call coming here. There's a wake-up call. Maybe you have spent a lot of time ignoring opportunities, feeling disconnected from your path, and you are being called to shift into a deeper state of awareness. Maybe you are understanding that this inability to ground energy has really prevented you from fully stepping into your power as well. And so I do feel there's a very guiding process here. I think the full moon eclipse is kind of calling you to pause, to reflect, to do that deep inner work, especially to have a deeper understanding of the wounds that you still need to heal. There's going to be some type of spiritual clarity, though, I feel, right? Because this person is going through a period of enlightenment. And so I don't know if you're feeling overwhelmed, if maybe you're feeling a little bit defensive too, right? This can mean your defensiveness is collapsing. I feel major pressure, a lot of pressure around the right side of my ear chakra. And so I don't know here, there's some type of like imbalance. I don't know. It almost feels like a little bit like vertigo. I feel a little bit sick to my stomach. So whatever truth is coming to light, I think it's making you a little bit nauseous. I don't know if there's exhaustion from constantly fighting or constantly wearing a mask, but I do feel there's a lot of emotional imbalance here. There could be emotional suppression and even emotional manipulation, right? When the King of Cups comes out in reverse, and this can be self-manipulation. And so the Seven of Cups in reverse is saying it's time to stop being lost in illusions. I do feel there's going to be like a major reality check here coming through under the eclipse energy. There's just a really, really heavy emotional energy here that I think is pointing to somebody that has been fighting a lot of battles inside and it's draining them. And I do think there's a lot of suppressed emotions here. There's somebody here I feel struggling to regulate their feelings. And maybe you are unemotional. Maybe you are emotionally unavailable. But I do feel the Seven of Cups in reversed is saying there's going to be a breakthrough moment. There's illusion shattering. I just heard shattering glass ceilings. Maybe you're going to finally see things for what they are. Maybe not what they hoped. Maybe not what you hoped them to be. But I also feel hidden truths, hidden secrets, and deep emotional wounds are surfacing, connected to self-doubt and a lot of subconscious fears. And so maybe the path isn't quite clear moving forward. But I feel with the moon card on the bottom of the deck, With the Page of Wands in reverse, this is really saying slow down, reflect, see the truth, process these emotions, stop resisting the change out of fear, and let go of something here that's been draining you, because I do feel there's a lot of subconscious fears here. I think there's illusions. I think there's some type of hidden truth. I think there's something here that probably needs to be acknowledged before you can move forward. And so this eclipse, I don't think for you is about taking action, but I think understanding the deeper truth behind any confusion. So you can't force stability from an unstable place either. You can't do that. You can't force it. If you feel lost, it's time to return to that inner wisdom. That's what the Hermit card is saying here. Instead of being so busy by external distractions or material things, there's a need to also release emotional suppression, right? I do feel a lot of emotional suppression here. There's really a need to get honest about your emotions, Scorpio. I do feel that. Have you been ignoring your feelings? Are you numbing yourself through addictions, through negative attachments here? Maybe you're numbing yourself with a food addiction, alcohol, drugs, or things, right? What is draining you? I think this eclipse is kind of coming in to clear it out, right? And with the sevens on either side of the King of Cups, that to me is a very heavenly guided energy about facing your fears and illusions rather than seeking things externally to fill a void. I also feel there's a need to let go of defensiveness, which is likely leading to some type of burnout here. And so I feel there's restlessness. I think you are encouraged to use this time period to reflect and heal and let that clarity emerge, because the moon is saying there's going to be a wake-up call, and the moon is saying, hey, you can't resist the deep inner work. I do think this eclipse is really going to reveal where you have been feeling ungrounded, emotionally disconnected, and where you have resisted the deep inner work. So I think you're being forced to pause. I think you're being forced to pause. I think you are being forced to reflect, to let go of illusions, and to step into the next chapter. But first, you got to surrender control. Scorpio, you got to feel it to heal it. So you got to feel all of these emotions, and you got to trust the unknown, because the moon is saying the path forward is still a little bit unknown. The clarity is coming, but only if you stop running from it. And that's what I got for you, Scorpio.